Heidi ho, it's the Peak Signing Agents podcast with your host, me, DVO Derek Van Auten. We're doing another episode, everybody, so thank you for tuning in. I want to talk on this episode because I'm trying to help you become the best notary and signing agent you can possibly be, but also help you be the most successful. And I think it's important to think about and who you put in your inner circle. Who is in your inner circle? Who do you spend the most time with? You've probably heard this quote, or this phrase, I shouldn't say a quote, but a phrase, that you take the 4 closest people to you, average out their income, and that's your income. Look at their personality. Of the 4 closest people to you, that's your personality as well. You become who you associate with. And that's true. It's just a human trait that we have. We kind of gravitate towards those similar to us, and we adapt and become similar to them. You know, I watch my little one. My little one, she watches certain videos, and she starts saying things she sees on the videos, right? And that's what happens to us. What we input into us, whether we're reading, watching, or who we're conversating with, we kind of tend to adapt some of those things that we like. And so it's so important who we surround ourselves with. Not only important who we surround ourselves with, but who we distance ourselves from as well. We also need to watch out who we're distancing. We need to distance ourselves from people who are holding us back, who are maybe a little on the negative side, and gravitate towards and be around those who are more positive, uplifting, reinforcing our values. And these are what's important. I'm talking about this because I've recently missed one of my close friends. And I just messaged him last night and said, hey, we need to get together. Let's do something tomorrow, which is today. And I'm getting ready to record a couple of videos right now. And he just texted me back and said, yeah, I'm available between this time. What do you guys want to do? And I'll call him right back as soon as we're done with this episode here. And the reason why he's one of my closest friends, we like spending time with each other, is because we have the same beliefs and we have the same mission where we are trying to grow. He has a different business than I do, and we're trying to grow our businesses. We're trying to be there to support our families. And we share those same values. And so that's what we're doing. But back in our younger days, we gravitated towards something different. It was about going out and having a good time. That was our goals in our teens and 20s. And now that we're older, we have different goals, but yet we've stayed aligned in that. And that's why we still are close friends. I have friends that in my teens and 20s that I don't talk to anymore. Our goals shifted. I focus on other goals, and they stayed on a different path than me. And that's okay. We're still associates, and we're still friends, and we'll still say hi to each other, but we don't hang out anymore. And that's what's going to happen. That happens in life, you know, where people think, oh, we've drifted apart because of family. And that's true. It does happen. You know, it does happen as you get older. Family comes first. There's a time when it's all about me. Right? You're single and it's all about me. It's all about me. Then you get into a relationship and then it's about us. It's about us. And then you start having a family and now it's about them. And that's just what happens in life. That's what one of my mentors taught me. And he was absolutely right. But you need to stay focused on your goals and on your family and be very mindful of who's in your inner circle. Do they bring value to you? I have totally had to distance myself from people that were negative on my business ventures. They doubted me. They told me it didn't make sense. Even my family, my in-laws, my parents and my in-laws, I think they thought I was crazy when I was going to start a notary business. They were like, a notary? We can go to the bank and get that for free. Why would anyone hire you to go be a notary? And I said, I don't know, but apparently it happens. I've watched YouTube videos and apparently it happens. People need notaries. Sometimes the bank's not available or whatever the reason is. And they just, I remember they were telling my wife, like, are you, like, this is the guy you married? He wants to be a notary? Like, no one goes to school and says, I want to be a notary when I grow up, right? No one does that. And something about it just felt right to me. I don't know how to explain it. Like, just something felt right about it. I've tried other businesses and I've failed other businesses. But I didn't have that feeling, or I just said, okay, this sounds kind of cool. Let's try it out. Like, that was my attitude about it. But it's something about notary. I don't know what it was. I was like, I want to get this printer. I want to get my desk set up in this way to print documents. I want to get a scanner. I need to get some pens and paper, get my bond and get my commission and get my stamp. Something about it just seemed right to me. I don't know how to explain it. I mean, it worked, right? It just worked. I had faith. I had faith in myself. But something felt good about it. Maybe when I took my exam, my state exam, I missed one question. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, maybe this is for me. I only missed one question out of it. And the other 2 times I've taken my exam, I've got 100%. So, I don't know. Something about it just felt good to me. And then learning about becoming a signing agent, helping people buy a house, refinance a house, sell a home. I really liked that. I thought that was cool. First time home buyers are my favorite. Anyway, we're talking about your inner circle. But I had to distance myself. I had to distance myself from friends and just say, I can't keep hanging out with you. Like, maybe on the weekend when I was younger, but like during the week, I just couldn't spend time with you. And that even happened with my family. I remember as a struggling entrepreneur going to my mom's house just so I could eat and hang out for a little bit because I was just too lazy to go prospecting for new clients, to go marketing. I just was a little lazy, to be honest. And I just go hang out there. And I just found out it just turned to her asking me to do chores. Hey, can you do this and do this? Well, you know, your dad's, my mom was retired and my dad was still working. And so I just was doing all these things around the house for her, helping her run errands. And I thought, okay, this is just taking up my time. I just can't hang out with mom and dad during the weekday. I have to distance myself during the weekday. And then I had to focus on who I'm bringing into my circle. It became other entrepreneurs. That's who I had to surround myself with. I said, I need to level up. I can't level up if I'm staying with people that are the same level as me. Does that make sense? Again, take the 4 people you surround yourself with the most, average their income, that's your income. Check out their attitude. Those 4 people, that's your attitude. I knew I had to change my attitude. I had to get away from employee-minded people. And I had to be around entrepreneurs. They didn't have to be notaries. It was a plus if they were a notary that they were doing better than me. But I had to be around people that were better than me. My algorithms of social media had to change. I had to be following successful entrepreneurs and salespeople and marketers. That's who I was watching on YouTube and social media. That's what my algorithm had to be bringing in. It couldn't be bringing in just nonsense, just to flood my mind with nonsense. I had to be getting value from things. I had to distance myself from certain things like TV. There were years that I did not watch TV. I stopped playing video games. I stopped watching sports. I had to stop doing those things. I had to distance myself not just from people, but from things that were taking away from my goals. I stopped watching TV for years and sports. I used to love playing fantasy football and watching football. Even if it wasn't my team, I was watching all the football on Sunday. I just take up all my time. I just stopped doing that. Monday nights watching football. No, stopped it. I stopped playing sports, watching sports. Stopped it all. Going out on the weekends, stopped it. Because it was just taking away from things that I wanted to focus on. That could have been time I could have been reading a book. That could have been time I was doing something else more productive. I could have been out marketing, could have been out prospecting, could have been doing out something different. And I just had to be like, okay, this is where I need to shift my mind. And I stopped listening to music in the car. It was all audiobooks and podcasts. That's all I listened to, even to today. All I listen to is audiobooks and podcasts. Even today, during the week, I don't watch TV. On the weekends with my family, we'll watch a show or something. But I can't even sit too long now. I get too anxious. I want to do something else. I can't sit too long watching TV. I created new habits. Different habits. Productive habits. So you have to surround yourself with positive people. People that are at a level higher than you. Because you should always be trying to level up. Eliminate distractions. Eliminate people that can be distractions. I'm not saying permanently. I'm just saying for a moment. I'm just talking about for a moment. Now I'll watch sports, but I don't watch it like I used to. I used to just all weekend just watch sports. Now I don't. Now I go to the sporting events and that's it. You know, it just things change. You have to change. You have to always be trying to level up. Surround yourself with positive people. So I didn't say I'm not talking to these friends anymore ever again. I'm just saying maybe during the weekdays, I don't talk to them. Or maybe I distance myself a little bit more from them. And some people, we just don't talk anymore that often. It's very rare. I mean, I love to see them when I do, but it's just very rare. I'm not trying to say cut out people and be a bad person. I'm just saying I'm trying to help you understand you have to level up. Sometimes it means eliminating things and people. Not forever, just for a moment. Because, I mean, now I'm in a position where I do things that I used to like. And I do hang out with people that don't necessarily help me level up. I just like their company now. Right? Because we laugh. We just have a good time. But it's just for, hey, let's go grab lunch. Let's go grab coffee. And we spend a couple hours together. And then, okay, I'll see you when I see you. Glad things are going well for you. But there's certain people I just like being around. Like one of my best friends right now. I'm excited to go see him today. I haven't seen him for a while. It was hard to do things when I was going through my treatment. It's hard to go do things when it's winter here in our state because it's cold and there's snow. But it's getting a little nicer now. So we're going to go do something today with our families. And I'm looking forward to it. So, but he helps me level up too. That's what we get from each other. We have a good time. We laugh. We have our inside jokes that no one gets. And then we're boosting each other up. And those are the relationships that I really treasure. And then I get more value from that. Because it's not all the time. So I hope that makes sense. Sometimes you just have to keep your inner circle tight for a moment. Be careful who you surround yourself with. Build those strong relationships like I've talked about. Not just with your clients too, but with those solid core inner circle. Build a strong relationships with them. Build the strong relationships with your family that really mean something that you can really treasure and hold on to. And with your loved ones. Me and my wife, we've bonded closer than ever before lately because I'm being more self-aware and self-conscious of who I surround myself with. I'll tell you something. My wife asked me through all the treatment that I've been going through or that I did go through for my cancer and thinking that it might be the end for me. And she said, did you take something from that? What did you take from that? And I said, the one thing that I really took from it is how valuable time is. Man, is time valuable? It's so limited time. And when you think your time is almost over, you really treasure it a little bit more. There's a lot of interviews of people who are to the end of their time and they ask what their regrets are. And I've always read those, even before my diagnosis. But I really take to heart those interviews now, what people regret the most. And I will say, the thing I took from is that time is valuable. Time is limited. So I want to do it. I want to spend time doing what I want to do, with whom I want to spend it with. And so that makes me just value relationships even more. I value my wife and my kids more. I value my family more, my brother, my parents, my in-laws. I value them more. My core relationships with friends and associates and clients, I value those more. And I want to spend more time with those people. Because that's the time I really enjoy. All right. That's just coming from somebody that thought their time was very limited for a moment. To just really treasure moments and really, really, really spend time with those that you really enjoy, that you can really get value from, and that you can give value to as well. What you're looking for, you give that too. I'm giving positivity. I have 2 nephews, 17 and 16. They're going out of state. They're going to Colorado for sales for the next 4 months. And some of the family didn't want them to go. They're like, don't go. It's going to be hard. It's going to be tough. And I was like, don't be negative to them. So I called them. I asked my wife, what's their phone number? I called them. I said, let me give you the tips that I've got. In fact, maybe I'll share those tips with you guys on another episode about being in sales. Maybe I'll share those. And I gave them those tips. I'm like, I want you guys to succeed while you're gone. Enjoy the time. Enjoy being gone. Take the value from it. It's a skill that will take you. Sales is a skill that will take you forever in this world. And I share tips to them and say, go have an amazing time. Enjoy the time. Make the most of it. Make the most money you can. And same with you. Get the best value you can from the time you're here. Enjoy it. Build strong relationships. Build core memories. Build strong relationships and enjoy them. And I'll talk to you next episode. Bye.